Hi everyone, I'm Emma Everett, Client Advice Manager and Chair of the Residential Investment Committee at Momentum Wealth. Over the last few weeks, I've been catching up with a number of members of our team to discuss the COVID-19 pandemic, its effect on Perth's property market, and advice for property investors and homeowners during these uncertain times. A few weeks ago, I caught up with Caylum Merrick, our finance team leader, and he's joining me again today. Thanks for joining me, Caylum.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Emma.
Caylum, last time we caught up, we spoke about the COVID-19 outbreak and its impact on the property market. We talked about some of the initiatives coming from government and lending institutions to help borrowers during these times. And we also talked about some advice for property owners. Now, since then, I understand there's been a number of changes to lender policies as they respond to the shifting economic landscape. And that's actually had an impact on borrowers, particularly in their ability to qualify for new loans and for refinances. Can you talk us through the details of that?
Yeah, sure. So money's cheap at the moment. There's some great rates available, but we definitely are seeing that lenders are making it more difficult to obtain. So a few of those examples are around supporting docs. So lenders previously, for example, a bank statement, you only needed to have the last transaction within a 6-week period of the application date. Now, bank statements and pay slips are required to be right up to date as per the application date. So self-employed clients as well, or business owners, previously all you required was your last year's financials and tax returns. The lender needs extra evidence now to ensure that your revenue is still in line with what you earned last year. So an updated BAS in some cases. And most of the lenders are now also asking COVID-related questions at various stages through the application process. So, they're just making sure that you haven't been impacted by COVID financially, and if so, to what extent, and then in some instances they'll make the judgment of if a reassessment is actually required.
And I understand there's also some industry restrictions and job category based restrictions that have come into play that might impact someone's ability to access finance today, where perhaps a month ago they would have qualified. Could you give us some examples of this?
Yeah. So some of the recent examples for a few of the lenders has been around cash out applications. So for those clients who actually have equity in their property and are looking to access some of that, whether it be for any investment opportunities or even just to create a buffer to help with cash flow management over the next few months. Some lenders have just decided not to accept those applications full stop. Another thing we've seen is around employment types and particular income types, overtime allowances, and particularly those casual employees who are working in industries that have been affected by COVID. The COVID pandemic, for example, hospitality. Whilst that person might still be earning an income, some of the lenders are not wanting to accept that income full stop. We actually had a recent example for a refinance for one of our clients. We got the loan approved and loan documents signed, and right before settlement, the lender requested an updated pay slip just to ensure that the applicant was still, working and earning an income. So those are the sorts of things that the lenders are starting to do, and it's creating more hurdles and making it more challenging.
Now, that can be quite frustrating for a borrower who wants to seek a refinance. If their situation is a little unstable, of course, they might not consider a new purchase, but they'd like to reduce the costs on the loans they already have. So with all that in mind, what's your advice to someone who's been considering refinancing or seeking finance for a new purchase or another project?
So I guess with everything we know and lending becoming increasingly difficult, my advice would definitely be prioritise it for sure. If you have plans to either purchase or even look at your completing a loan review, I strongly urge you get onto the front foot because the changes are so fluid, and what is relevant one week may not be relevant the next week. And I guess the last thing you want is to have plans to do something and then approach a broker and find out that, look, had you been 2 weeks earlier, we could have got something through, but now, everything's changed and you no longer qualify. So I'm all for getting money in the back pockets of our clients, and rather than sitting with the bank, they make enough money as it is. So definitely, if there's an opportunity to save money or put yourself in a better position, you should be prioritising that and taking advantage.
Absolutely. Now, Caylum, tell me a little bit about what the team have been focusing on in the last few weeks. Have you noticed an uptick in borrower activity? What are you seeing on the ground?
So our focus has been on our clients and helping them navigate these difficult times, and helping them, obtain better interest rates and obtain better products regards to lending, and being there for them to answer the difficult questions as well. Look, there's some great rates available, and a lot of our clients have taken advantage of that. Rates are as low as almost 2%, which is amazing, really. That's very cheap money. So we're helping clients take advantage of that, extending interest-only periods where we can to help manage cash flow. I'll comment as well, in the last week we have seen a particular increase to sentiment in WA. We're finding that clients who were looking to purchase this year and had plans to progress with that, they'd put things on hold 5-6 weeks ago. Now they're coming back and they can see positivity out there, and see that things are slowly starting to turn, and they're actually picking those plans up, and we're starting to put in place some pre-approvals for them so that they can take advantage of some good opportunities in the market.
Absolutely. We've certainly seen some of that uptick in consumer confidence in the property market as well. Property sales have started to increase on a weekly basis from the low point that we hit a month ago. And this is happening in the context of the Perth market having the lowest stock on market for sale in more than 6 years. And so certainly for buyers that are entering the market now, they might find that the bargain that they're looking for doesn't happen, simply because there is less stock and more active buyers competing to secure it. And that's something that we'll talk about in a bit more detail in next week's video. Now, Caylum, last time we spoke, you mentioned that you're anticipating some delays in lender processing times due to changing policies, but also all the logistics of working from home. How has that played out?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. Some lenders are really struggling still with the volumes, and that's not only with getting an application assessed, that's even getting applications settled as well. So lenders will always prioritise a purchase application or a purchase settlement over a refinance settlement. So there are some clients out there who are, struggling to get their applications not only looked at but even settled. Other lenders are not doing too bad, but overall we have seen a definite slowdown to the whole process. So look, if you're in a position to act now, speak to a broker. They can help you navigate through the lenders that are struggling and those that are getting things processed pretty quickly. And it's more about getting yourself into a better position if you can, and doing that as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Thanks for those insights today, Caylum.
No problems.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. I hope you found this a helpful update. If you'd like to see previous videos or more information about the COVID-19 outbreak and its impact on the property market, as well as a comprehensive list of government and industry initiatives to support property owners during this time, visit our website at momentumwealth.com.au/coronavirus. If you have questions or concerns about how this situation might impact your borrowing capacity or your own property goals, don't be shy, get in touch with us. Our team would love to help.